Hi, I'm Steve Schechter. Welcome once again to Much Smarter Than You Think. This is the second of 4 videos that will show you how to quickly become smarter than you ever thought you could be. Now, let's get you started with the 3-step process for becoming smarter and more capable in every area of life. To improve performance in any area, you want to step up. 1, what you believe. 2, how you feel. And 3, how you learn. These are the 3 steps for learning anything that you want. Now let's first take a look at that first step up, what you believe. It's amazing to think that by the time you're in 9th or 10th grade, you've already got some set ideas about what you can and cannot do. You ever find yourself thinking, I'm no good in math. I hate science. I'm a terrible writer. I'll never understand this. I hear kids speak like this all the time. Now you notice they don't say, I haven't learned to write yet. They say, I'm a terrible writer. Big difference. If I say to myself, I haven't learned to write yet, then I leave open the possibility that I will learn to write. Maybe very well. But if I say to myself, I'm a terrible writer, then I close off that possibility. I'm just bad in writing. I'll never learn to write. You see, that second idea is a limiting belief. And I call it a limiting belief because it gets in my way. It stops me from making progress. Now, you want to know where limiting beliefs come from? We learn them. When we're little kids, our thinking is pretty much open, pretty much unlimited. Ever notice a little kid talking about what she's going to do when she grows up? Well, she'll tell you that she's going to be an astronaut, a star athlete, and a doctor all at the same time. But all too often, we learn limiting beliefs as we grow up. We may get some negative feedback from parents, from teachers, from peers. We may experience a setback, a bump along the road in life. And we may conclude that that setback is due to some shortcoming on our part. Let's say you have a bad experience speaking in front of a group. You might decide you're a bad public speaker. Supposing you have a bad year in math class, you might decide you're bad in math. Supposing you struggle in reading for a while, again, you might decide you're a bad reader. This is how we learn limiting beliefs. Now there's a problem. Most of the time, those limiting beliefs are plain not true. And worse still, once we've learned a limiting belief, then it becomes like a habit. We don't even have to actively think I'm bad in math. We just start to assume it. Now, here's the great news about limiting beliefs. Since we've learned them in the first place, we can also unlearn them. Let me give you an example. I had a student named Alexandra. Now, Alex was convinced she was no good in math. She was a fabulous student in every other subject, but not math. Now, when I worked with Alexandra, I found that she didn't struggle to learn math, so I wondered what was going on. Turns out, Alex was intimidated because she didn't learn math as easily or quickly as some of the whiz kids in her class. But once Alex let go of her limiting belief, and she created a new relationship between herself and math, her performance began to improve radically. She wound up getting over a 700 on her math SAT, and that in turn helped her get into her first choice school, Wesleyan. So you see, your first step in any new endeavor is to let go of your limiting beliefs about that endeavor. Let's say you think you're no good in math. You don't have to tell yourself at first that you're a genius in math. All you need to do is say, well, maybe it's not true that I'm bad in math. Or maybe I just haven't learned math yet. Or maybe when it comes to math, I'm much smarter than I think. So what you want to do is you want to create a new possibility. You know, if you observe people that you think are geniuses, or if you learn about some of the geniuses in history, the Edisons, the Einsteins, the Mozarts of the world, you find that they have something in common. They have a very open mind about both what is possible and about what is possible for them. You don't even know when you begin something just how good you can become. I have a friend named Richie, and when we were in 11th grade together, our English teacher told Richie that he could be a writer. Now, up to this point in his life, he had done almost no writing, but he took the teacher's words to heart, and he began to write and write and write and write. Now, since then, he's had many of his poetry books published. He's had many of his children's books published. And he's invited to speak and read his poetry all over the world. So you see, when Richie created a new possibility, he opened up a whole new talent and a new career that might otherwise not have even existed. So, when you're trying something, first step is what you believe. Let go of the beliefs that get in your way. Create a new possibility. Now, in our next video, we're going to take you to the next step for becoming much smarter, and that is to step up how you feel about what you're doing. In that video, you're going to discover how high performers use their emotions more effectively than most people do. Till then, all the best to you from me and from our team at Much Smarter Than You Think. Thank you.